Hello, AffiliateCon Club members. We're here today for an interview with Alex Windsor from Apps4 Media, who'll be talking about his journey as an affiliate. But before we head into it, be sure to head over to our affiliate partner profiles and share your profile. Hi, Alex. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, no problem.
It's great to have you on, and we're going to talk about your journey as an affiliate so far for the AffiliateCon website. So I think a great place to start would be, can you tell us about Apps4 Media and kind of your main services as an affiliate?
Apps4 Media is a relatively new company. We're just over 2 years old. I've been an affiliate myself since 2012. Started out all on my own, kind of just ventured into the whole affiliate marketing world and always worked on my own. Ended up with 12 websites that I sold to a large iGaming company back in 2015. Had a 2 years non-compete that I abided by and waited patiently to jump back into the market.
Yeah, so you say you started in around 2012. Would you say the affiliate sector and affiliate world has changed significantly since then?
Oh, massively. I mean, there were guys who were doing it for kind of 20 years that I speak to on GPWA and Affiliate Guard Dog, and obviously read interviews and things online, and everyone comments just how different the space is now compared to how it was 10 years ago. Everything was a lot easier back then. You could put a website up in 5 minutes, fill a page with keywords, rank a whole website within a week, and just kind of sit there and watch traffic come. Those days are long gone. Everything is a lot more calculated. A whole online presence is a lot different now. It's a lot harder to rank websites. There's just so much more involved and involvement that you need to do in order to get to the top and try and stay there. So many bigger companies involved as well. You're no longer it's a lot more difficult now to be an affiliate than it was 10 years ago. A lot more competition, and instead of lots of kind of bedroom affiliates, I guess you perhaps call them now, more or less the SERPs are just dominated by these huge multinational companies that have websites in every niche, in every country, and it's just a lot more hard work and a lot more competitive and a lot more complicated than what it was 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely not the first affiliate to have said that. I mean, I remember back at a time when we actually could still go to trade shows, and hopefully that'll come back soon. But yeah, at London Affiliate Conference, definitely affiliates have talked about how much it has changed. From an Apps4 Media perspective, or geographically, what kind of markets do you target at the moment?
Originally, we started out in the UK because that's where the market I'd worked for since 2012, and being an English company and speaking the English language was kind of the most appropriate one to go back into. So we started off in the UK again. I did a website in Spanish and Italian, which sounds quite easy. Take your content in English, translate it to Italian, and put it on a website, but it's a lot harder to look at competitors, to link build, to do kind of any sort of SEO when you haven't got a clue on what the language is. So I heard, obviously, that PASPA had been repealed in 2018, and I just thought, wow, okay, this is something that's going to be pretty big. So I started developing our first website in America, and it's just kind of got on from there, really. And the UK, Spain, and Italy have just kind of taken a backseat now, and everything just seems to be about the US at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. The hottest market around, and obviously it's not just one market, several state markets. We'll talk to you a little bit more about US in a second, but just before that, obviously I've asked you about geographical markets. In terms of kind of verticals, in terms of bingo, casino, sports betting, what do you kind of specialize in, and what are your kind of biggest ones at the moment?
Sports has always been the most popular one, the one that we target most, only because I know more about sports. I have played poker before. I am not very good at poker. I do go to the casino when we're allowed, and I play online. I don't really have much luck, whereas I feel a lot more knowledgeable about sports betting, and everyone pretty much likes to have a bet. I've got a bingo website. I'm not a massive bingo player. I have played when I've been kind of writing reviews and guides and things, but with the help of my wife and other people, other writers who help contribute to the sites as well. But sports has always been the bread and butter.
Absolutely, yeah, makes sense. And if we go back to the US, obviously sports betting as well in the US is absolutely booming at the moment. But we understand you've landed a few US licenses in sort of several states. When did you land these? What was the licensing process like? And did it actually vary kind of depending on the state?
Massively. New Jersey was the first state that we got licensed in. And that was pretty easy, to be fair. I can't remember that far long back now, but I don't think there were any fees involved with New Jersey. It was filling this form, and then within a week or two, you were kind of licensed, and you could start promoting in the States. Pennsylvania, slightly more complicated. We had to get a lawyer involved, and help us that Pennsylvania make you go through. I've got a pack sat on my desk here that I need to go to the police station and fill in my fingerprints. The UK police aren't accepting fingerprints at the minute, so unless I plan on committing a crime and them hauling me in to do my fingerprints, I've just got to wait until the police are back open and taking prints to Central Pennsylvania. I would say that is the most difficult one to get into. Tennessee has been quite easy, Colorado, Michigan. You would think, being all one country, they'd have kind of like the same process to go through for each of the states to get licensed, but most of them are different. For example, Virginia, that we're just in the process of applying for a license for, you need to be registered as a business to conduct business in Virginia. So you need to work on their online portal. You need a business address in Virginia. So you have to register over there as well. Being a UK company, our company formation documents are a lot different than what they are over in America. We've had to get them notarized by a solicitor, sent on via email, lots of online portals. We've been in touch with HMRC again this morning to request some more documents that are certified by HMRC to send over. So when you complete one and you think, oh, okay, that was pretty easy, the next one, you've got about 5 more hoops that you need to jump through.
No, it definitely doesn't sound easy. And that fingerprint story in particular is quite eye-opening. Yeah, definitely a long process. My next question for you, sticking with the US, I guess it's the $1 million question for yourself and any other affiliate, really. How do you plan to stand out in the US? Because obviously it is the hottest market right now, but as a result, kind of everyone is targeting it, really.
The competition, to say is huge, is probably an understatement. The biggest iGaming providers, Katana, Better Collective, just seem to dominate the SERPs at the minute. They made some massive acquisitions 2 or 3 years ago when the glimmer of the US was kind of there, and they already had a 2, 3, 4 year head start on everyone else. So it is difficult to stand out from the crowd. And I think what you've got to try and do is, it's more of an education for Americans as it is for us, because a lot of Americans still aren't aware of where you can bet, what you can bet on. Like you kind of touched on earlier, every kind of state is more or less a different country. So, for example, in one state, you're not allowed to bet on college sports. Another state, you are allowed to bet on college sports. One state is just sports betting. One state, sports betting and casino. It's so diverse, and there's so much information. You kind of have to educate the players a lot more than what you would say in the UK, where most people know if you wanted to, you could pick up your phone, you could join a bookie, download an app and place a bet in kind of 5 minutes. It's so much more different over there.
Yeah, totally. You mentioned kind of the education point, and I remember that being really emphasized once Passport was overturned. We're kind of 2.5, 3 years on from that, but are we still really at a basic state with the kind of player education aspect?
I'd imagine so, yeah. Especially when you have states next to each other where one may license sports betting and the next state doesn't license sports betting. a lot of people are aware that you can not just cross state lines and just carry on kind of betting. You have to literally pop back into the state where it is legal. Things, I'd say, are getting better over there, and education is happening a lot more because a lot more operators are making partnerships with NFL teams, Bundesliga football teams now, basketball teams, whereas on the UK, if you turn on and watch a football match on the weekend, you probably see 5 or 6 betting ads before the game, during the game.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of sponsored by a gambling company. And that is just starting to happen over in America now. So when you're watching a Super Bowl, if you're in a legalized state, you'll probably start seeing legalized sportsbook ads. So it is kind of bringing attention to the masses now that this is legal, and yes, you can start doing it. Education is still very big over there. Not a lot of people are aware what states you can obviously bet in, what sports you can bet on. So our websites are kind of geared around educating players because they have so many questions to ask. Where can you bet? What can you bet on? If you win some money, how do you withdraw it? How do you make deposits? What teams are available? Are you allowed to bet on college sports? And everything that we kind of take for granted in the UK, that you can just pick up a phone anywhere across the country, download an app and place a bet. With professional teams, so DraftKings, BetMGM, PointsBet, the names are becoming a lot more relevant, a lot more in the news. They seem a lot more associated with sports teams. So things are getting a lot clearer over there, but there's still a long way to go in the UK market level.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you say, it's busy. There's plenty going on, and yeah, sort of best of luck with your US operations. And you sound like you've definitely got a leg up with a lot of the legwork you've already done in some of those states, especially. I keep thinking about the fingerprint story. But a final sort of question I wanted to ask you, and this is not necessarily just about the US. It's obviously global. How did the COVID-19 pandemic affect your business? And I think it'll be quite interesting to hear your kind of story, because you said you're very focused on sports, and obviously the pandemic had a definite effect on sports, sort of 1 to 2 month period last year.
It went very quiet for a fair few months. Sport everywhere was massively affected. Obviously, football's the most popular in the UK, but there was also a lot of horse racing as well that was obviously stopped, and pretty much everything kind of ground to a halt. You will always find those gamblers who like to gamble on table tennis in Azerbaijan, for example. So we managed to kind of keep taking along, but I used the time to reevaluate a lot of things on the website. So we went back through all of our content, updated everything. We started developing a new casino website. It was a big issue, I think, for a lot of companies, especially sports companies. I've heard a lot of success stories of casino affiliates and poker affiliates who flourished because people still wanted to play online. They still wanted to do something to wager a little bit of money. So instead of betting on football, they'd perhaps go and try a game of slots. They'd start poker tournaments with friends. They'd join kind of 888 poker and start playing poker against someone in another country. So it was a difficult time last year, and when football started coming back on, you could tell because your stats started to rise again, and visitors to your website started increasing again. So it was difficult. In a way, it's probably helped things over in the US now, because in this country, obviously, money has kind of changed. So a lot of the states are looking for ways to generate tax, and by taxing sports betting and sports betting companies is a good way for them to make a lot of money. So whereas some states before were quite hesitant to perhaps introduce sports betting, this may have actually increased the need to do it, because there's massive budget deficits now for a lot of these states, and raising taxes through sports betting is one way to do it. So it's probably been a good thing maybe for the iGaming space in America in that sense, that it may have sped it up by a couple of years.
For sure, yeah, a big time in the US, but also, we're still going strong in the UK and other markets. Alex, thanks very much for your time and your answers. Thanks for joining us.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Thank you to our Affiliate Club members for listening to our interview with Alex Windsor. Be sure to check out more classroom content on affiliatecon.com.